And our next speaker is Greg Price with Northern Power Systems. He's going to talk about the Unakleet project, which has 6 north wind turbines and a fairly new diesel plant. Just a little background. Greg's been with Northern Power in the wind industry for some time. So he's currently the Western Regional Director for Northern Power, and we see him quite often up here in Alaska. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. And I know we've had some conversation about Unakleet already, and there's a lot of you guys here who know a lot about this project. And of course, we're running late on our program. I don't want to cut into our beer time. So I'm going to try and make this short and sweet, kind of keep this high level, and give you a little idea of what it took to put this project together, some of the precedent that we've set in putting this project together that we're all really proud of. And if you guys have any questions after, feel free. So a little bit about Northern Power Systems and the Northwind 100, which is now called the Northern Power 100 machine. And I know a lot of you are familiar with this, so again, I'll keep it real high view. We do believe in direct drive technology, gearless systems for low maintenance, less moving parts, permanent magnet generators, full power conversion, optimized for remote and rugged conditions. We have an Arctic system, and we also have a system for the lower 48s. We use special alloys within our castings, so they don't succumb to or brittleness and breaking and fatigue within the temperature oscillations that you get here. And we also have some insulation within our components within the nacelle, and of course the Arctic blades. In addition to that, we also have Smart View monitoring, which I'll talk a little bit more about that and how that's been an amazing asset to have in monitoring and controlling our systems, and how we've actually deployed that within the Unakleet project. We also have just about every certification and standard in the book for our turbine, and of course third-party verified power curve and acoustics, which I think every turbine should have. So enough about that. A little bit about our AK fleet. As you guys know, we've been in Alaska for a long time, over 10 years of continual operation within the Alaska market alone. 37 turbines currently in operation. I believe it's 38 now with the Seward that just went up in December. Over 420,000 hours of operation, 420,000 hours of runtime on our fleet in Alaska alone. So we're pretty proud of that. Over 10 million kilowatt hours generated across our fleet here in Alaska. We have a growing pipeline this year and next year, 4, possibly 6 turbines in Emonac that's being installed now, and Clinton told you guys a little bit about that, and we're certainly excited about that project as well. Some of the challenges that we've all faced, and I won't belabor this since Clinton covered a lot of this, of course the remote locations, weather and complex logistics, and the grid, poor soils, etc., all make any of these installations incredibly difficult, and Unakleet was no exception. So a little bit about this project. As you guys may have heard, this is 6 Northern Power 100 turbines, the 100K turbines, all on 37-meter towers, monopole towers. The projected annual production was 1,500,000 kilowatt hours a year, annual savings in fuel of 113,000 gallons per year. Project cost about $5.7 million. And one thing that really made this project come together was how innovative that Unakleet was about getting funding. Certainly AEA was a huge funder to this project, and it certainly wouldn't have happened without it, but it wasn't enough by itself. So Unakleet went out and started soliciting and looking for other financing partners to help put this together. Not only did the Unakleet Native Corporation pony up some money, but they also found a significant amount of funding from the Norton Sound Economic Development Corporation. So it's kind of a unique mix of financing partners that was able to make this project actually move forward. So some of the actual numbers that we have to date on the system, we currently have over 54,000 hours of operation between the 6 turbines, almost 1 million kilowatt hours generated so far. So far we have 73,000 gallons of diesel fuel saved, and almost, and I think maybe by today, we actually surpassed 1.5 million pounds of CO2 offset. I'll show you some of our public views so we can see some of that data real time after the presentation, which I think is pretty cool. A lot of partners that had to come together to make this project happen, and Clinton talked a little bit about how important that is, and I also want to give credit to Clinton White because he did give me some of these slides to put together, because ultimately this really was his baby. He really saw this project through from start to finish, and a lot of these partners in the room, including Northern Power, certainly UVEC, who's operating the system, and AEA, STG, UNC, and a multitude of others had to come together for this to happen, and having a strong team in a project like this is absolutely essential if you want it to be successful. One of the other things that was really precedent-setting on this project was the timeline. This project came out of conception in September 2008. By January of 2009, the grants were announced. The project scope was revised in April of 2009. The project execution began in May, construction in July, and by September it was complete. We're looking at a year from conceptualization to installation. And I don't know, Brent, how many projects you've had in this type of setting that you can have a wind diesel project go all the way through funding and completion in a year. It was unprecedented as far as I know. So we were pretty excited about that, and there was more to be done though after September of 2009. One of the things that was left to be finished was on Northern, which was the secondary load control. Alan Axworthy explained our secondary load control, so I won't go over this. This is pretty redundant, and he already explained how that worked. But we were still in development of that technology as of September 2009. We installed the secondary load control in January of 2010. So during that period, the system was not in full operation. It wasn't able to dispatch the full loads to the boilers. There was a period where it was in manual dispatch by the operators there at UVEC. It's now an automated dispatch. We just upgraded the software across our entire fleet, and so now we can run these systems at full capacity. We're fine-tuning that secondary load control here at Unakleet so we can do full dispatch on our boiler loads, which in this particular system, that heat recovery is going into their school and gym, I believe. So, and I just got an announcement today. We monitor our systems all the time, and we were at 75% contribution of renewable energy with over 500 kilowatts of capacity today. So we're all pretty excited about that. We think that's pretty significant, and that's without the dispatch load operating at full capacity. So I think that's pretty impressive. So another thing that was really important for this to be successful, and I think this is a good segue after Kent's presentation in terms of training. We had some of the UVEC crew come out to Northern Power's plant in Vermont. We're sticklers about training. We make sure that our installers are trained. You're trained in O&M. We monitor all the commissions of our machines to make sure that the systems are going to be operating at an optimal level and that the installations are successful. And we actually had some of the UVEC crew come out. We trained them in our installation technician as well as our O&M level 1 and level 2. And having them they were already fairly sophisticated in their diesel power plant operation, and also very open-minded to this new interface, the new engineering that was required, and as a result they were very engaged, and they've been an instrumental part in the success of this project. In addition to that, as was mentioned earlier, there's a lot of synergy built within this project in terms of timing of existing or infrastructure that was being upgraded, both in the power system as well as the distribution system, over 1.5 miles, a mile of new transmission, a half mile of upgrade. All these came together, so the project was looked at holistically instead of just trying to integrate a wind turbine into an existing operating system. And I think that really added a lot in terms of how successful this project came together, and the amount of renewable energy contribution we were able to put into their system. We know some of the training groups here. We work with these guys to try and support some of the local jobs. We're working very closely with AvTech to support their program and get some of the training here locally, because often it doesn't always make sense to bring your people out to Vermont. It's quite a ways from quite a ways from Alaska. So we're pretty excited about working with these partners to create more sustainable training programs that can support projects like Unakleet. So here's Unakleet's new skyline. It's a pretty attractive installation. I really like that picture on the lower left. And we'll be seeing this in full operation over the next couple of weeks as we fine-tune the SLC. So just kind of in summary, some of the key factors of success within this project. Of course, correct equipment for the application. The Northern Power 100 was a good fit for this application. Employing strong regional partners. Without folks like STG and the networks and partners that they have, this project would not nearly have been as successful as it was. Of course, looking for folks who can integrate across the diverse needs of application engineering, construction, and logistics. Finding those, training your local technicians, because we can provide technical support and field support, but it's often not the most cost-effective way to have our guys come out and do technician support on your systems. And of course, building synergy and synchronizing with multiple projects within the region, as Clinton had talked about earlier, and also the remote energy management software. That's one where Northern has been leading the way for quite some time. We can monitor these systems 24/7. We can upgrade them remotely. We can shut them down remotely. We can monitor literally thousands of set points within our turbine. Upgrade software, whatever is going on with that turbine, we know it. We can also give that opportunity to provide that license to our partners. AVEC monitors their fleet diligently, and that really helps us with our reliability, with our performance, and with our safety, which is just absolutely critical, especially out in rural Alaska. So that's one thing we're pretty proud of, and are continuing to upgrade as within our most recent upgrade of software to our systems. So with that, I wanted to show you what's going on with the system right now, which I think is pretty cool. This is our public view. We have two different platforms that we use, public view and admin view, or we also call smart view. The public view is kind of a little more marketing, a little more feel-good information. So this is cumulative data. It is real time. It's updated on the server real time as long as we have communications with our turbines. So here you can see the cost savings, the fuel offset, environmental equivalent, the total cumulative energy across the system, how many trees we're saving, and we did pass 1.5 million pounds as of today. So that's pretty cool. We can also look at our systems, turbine by turbine, and see exactly what they're up to. This at 100 kilowatts in capacity, this turbine's producing 91.5 kilowatts at a 30 mile per hour. So that's pretty impressive. These machines are operating at capacity, and we can go and pick different turbines that we want to see and make sure they're performing. And as long as we have communication links, this one's almost up to 95. So that's something that we're pretty proud of, and Unakleet obviously is a pretty good win site. So in addition to this, this is something we can provide to you. You can provide to your clients. But we also have the admin again, which is a much more sophisticated operators platform that allows us to monitor just about every metric and variable within that turbine, so we can make sure it's performing. You guys can do the same if it's something that you want to do in-house, and we can support you within that. So kind of a unique functionality that Northern provides for our turbines. And one of the reasons why Unakleet has been so successful, because we've been able to remotely monitor these machines, upgrade them as necessary. So with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for your attention, and look forward to some social time after this. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to address them.